What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Let's Talk About It podcast. I'm your host, Terry Price. At this time, the time is 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys will be informed. Hope we can bring some light, peace, and education and knowledge and understanding to you guys. All right, Gene. So, what's going on in the world today, baby? What's going on in the world today? What's going on?
Oh, nothing much that I know of. Not here in Dallas anyway.
Right. They don't want to see you. They don't want to see your boy great. I don't know why, but they can't stop the rain. I keep telling them they can't stop the rain. I'm telling you.
No, they can't. No, they can't.
I keep
It's gonna come. Gonna come. It's gonna come.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I just really thank the Most High for everything that He has done for me and what He's continued to do for me in my life and being ahead of my life. Um,
Amen. Amen.
Thank you for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Because in this day and time, boy, you definitely need some type of wisdom and knowledge and understanding. And there's nothing wrong with going to school, but school don't make you smart. It makes you qualified. I wish I can get people to understand that. I wish I can get an amen on that, but it's okay.
Amen. Amen.
We got a lot of people that go to school, which I'm not. Hey, I'm for school, but they go to school and they just kind of forget the basic principles of things. They come out of school thinking they know the whole world, you know. Anyway,
Yep.
it's all good. It's all good, baby. But
That's good. That's good.
but I'm glad you guys are doing all right. I'm glad you're all right. I'm glad that y'all stayed down with your boy, you, Tiffany, your mom, everybody. Y'all stayed down with me. Man, like I said,
Always.
y'all my family, man. Y'all my family away from my family, so I appreciate that. It's been
Well,
nothing
we're
but
here
love.
for you. We're here for you.
Thank you, thank you. Showing me love all the way in Louisiana, Louisiana.
Yes, sir. The boot.
Right, right, right. But you know what? I want to talk about this with you because I know you're a beautiful, seasoned woman. I definitely want to talk about this with you. Um,
Okay.
what is your understanding of ownership and wealth, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, my understanding of it is to have something
Right,
is to own something.
that's right,
Even if you sell land, house, car,
right,
you have to me, you have to have that in order to leave it to your kids.
right,
You have to establish yourself in this world because if you don't establish yourself, you won't have nothing. People won't look up to you. They won't, some people respect you, but you won't that certain respect.
right, right, right,
And
right.
as long as you own something, people will look up to you.
And you know what? I'm glad you said that because a lot of churches, a lot of people do not talk about ownership and wealth with their kids.
Never.
When I was coming up, I'm still young, but when I was coming up, the families vaguely talk about it just a little bit.
Yes.
The only thing that I've heard growing up on my side was your grandfather or your grandmother would tell you, son, save your money.
Yeah. Yeah.
But did nobody explain to us why we should save our money?
Right.
I get mad at myself because I remember back in 2002, uh, I was making real good money, and I hate all that money I was making. I think I was making about almost 1,000 a week at that time, getting paid every Thursday or Friday. I hate that I didn't save half of the money that I was spending. But at that time, you know, you always think those jobs is going to always be around.
Right.
That's the mistake that we black people make. We always think that stuff is going to always be around, and when that job played out, matter of fact, it went out of business. I didn't get laid off or fired. The job went out of business. Man, I look back, I said, you know what? Wow, I wish I would have kept that money, like some of it, half of. What I should have did was taken half of it, pay my bills, and taken the other half and put it into a savings account. That's what I should. Or
Yeah.
put it in your shoebox like your grandmother and your grandfather used to do.
Yeah.
put in your shoebox. So I really hate that I didn't take the time out to do it that way. But hey, that's said and done. That's in the past. Now we in the present. And you still got our people still do not understand the importance of ownership and what when I talk about it, it gets no likes, it doesn't get no clout, it doesn't get reposts. I really think a lot of our people don't even understand what I'm talking about when I say ownership and wealth, because this is what the other nations of people are doing on a consistent day-to-day basis. This is why we are so far behind. Now, the Latino people have caught on to how to play the game. This is why you see the Latinos fixing up the community with gentrification going on. This is why you see the Latinos bypassing us Hebrew people. They have bypassed us now. I pulled up a chart back from 2016. It had the Caucasian race up here. It had the Latinos and the so-called blacks at a flat line. But now you see the Latinos over the last few years or 10 years, you see them going up. And you know, when you see us so-called black people, you still see us stagnating at the bottom. And you got to ask yourself, because we are doing good. I mean, a lot of us black people, we got money, we got access to riches, beautiful homes, beautiful cars, but you got to ask yourself, is this just a front that we putting on, or do we really own the stuff that we see everybody with? And you're going to come to find out a lot of us don't own what we have. The stuff that we showing off, the stuff that we claim that we have. See, one thing my dad told me, never brag about something that you don't ever own, because it doesn't belong to you. It belongs to somebody else. I can't get no amen in here, but I'm all by myself with it. But I'm telling you the truth. Never brag about nothing that you don't own. And it's not that you're trying to be better than the next person. It's just that some people take ownership and wealth serious than others. That's all it is. Ownership and wealth matters in the United States of America. It matters. And if anybody that say it doesn't matter, they lying to you. It feels good not to have your landlord come over, or you have to get your funds ready at the end of the month to try to, pay on your mortgage or your rent. And I'm not against that. We all got to start from somewhere. There's nothing wrong with that. But your whole outlook should be ownership. At the end of the day, it's all about ownership. Stop renting. You know how you be spending money. You got some people been renting for 20 years. And that money is not going nowhere. It's just going into somebody else's pocket. What you should have did was apply for a mortgage. That way, when you're paying rent, that money is going towards a mortgage. It's basically a rent-to-own basis. Right. That's what paying a mortgage is. A lot of people don't want to say that, but it's basically a rent-to-own situation that you got going on. And when you're paying rent, that's just another form of pay as you go, like a prepaid card, pay as you go. That just makes sense to me. And you gotta ask yourself, why a young man is talking like this? Why we don't hear the rappers, the preachers, these so-called evangelists and prophetess and so-called people that's hearing from God? Why they don't ever talk about ownership and wealth with us?
Because biggies of them, they don't even own their stuff. No. I used to think they did, but at the end of the day, they rich just like we are.
That's right.
All that money they got, all these big houses, they film that there's in it, and they not. It's just spotlight for somebody else's stuff, not even their own stuff.
That's right. That's totally true. So you got to ask yourself, why these people don't take time out to talk with us about ownership and wealth, talking about owning your own land, your own home, your own everything. My grandfather always said, If you don't have enough money to buy it, then you don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
See, a lot of times, young people, and I was one of those, what we do is when we get our first credit card, what they do is they start setting you up. They start sending you all kind of credit cards with certain limits. The first thing we want to do is go shopping, which
Right.
I'm not against shopping. I'm not against shopping. But see, what we do is we don't think to pay it back. And guess what? That goes against your credit. So let's say you start getting serious around the time you in your late 30s or, well, your early 30s and late 20s, where you say, you know what? Hey, I want to take out a business loan so I can own my own shop or my own donut shop or laundromat. Well, see, you're going to run into a problem because you're not going to be able to borrow any money, because for one of the first things they look at is your credit. And your credit, you got to be damn, if you're a so-called black man or a black woman, your perfect got to be damn near perfect in order to get anything from a bank. And I'm just telling you straight up, from a business owner, I'm telling you straight up, you got to be damn near perfect, or you got to have your own money to put up, or you have to have collateral. See, they're not going to teach you this and tell you this, but I'm telling you straight, you got to have your own money, or you're going to have some type of collateral that you're going to have to put up in order for them to loan you anything. If it's a damn $100, they'll let you borrow $100 and your ass gonna end up paying $1,000 back.
Mm-hmm.
That's because the interest, and with the inflation that's going up, I can just imagine how much the interest is right about now. It's high, but we don't have no care to want to own anything. This is the problem that I've been having with our community. They just allow the other nations of people come in freely, set up shop, and just buy all the land. And I'm so surprised because I would think with all the churches that are in the community, I would have thought the churches would have got together and buy up all the land, but the churches don't have no interest in ownership and wealth. They don't have no interest in it. They don't even have interest in setting up some type of trade school or some type of educational system where kids can go back to school and get their high school diploma, a GED, or learn a trade, or learn how to buy land and how to keep their credit scores good and keep their credit scores healthy. Our people don't have no interest in that. No interest. So we got to stop playing semantics and stop playing the blaming on the white people game. If it's a game being ran on you, then that should make you want to come together even more, right?
Right.
Okay, then. I don't have time to be talking about, oh, the white man holding me back, the white man holding me down. And no. I'm not going to give him that power. I'm going to give myself that power. What I need to do is, if I can't get 5 brothers to go into business with me, you better believe I need to sit at home and I need to draw up a plan. Everybody should have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C. You should have that in a relationship too. But anyway, we'll talk about that at another day and time. Everybody should have some type of plan, a master plan. And your job is to pray about it and execute it. Not pray about it and just sit on your ass and just wait for something to happen. That's dogma religion. You don't need that dogma. We serve a God of action. God wants you to get up and make something happen and make a move, and trust him during the process, that he'll give you the capabilities, the wisdom and knowledge and understanding to make it happen. That's what I believe in. And you should believe in it too.
Yeah, amen to that.
I'm not trying to preach, but y'all trying to take me there. But I'm telling you.
You're right. I mean, you should have a plan. Especially these young people coming up these days.
Right.
Because they're not going to have anything to fall back on. That's just like me.
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, I wasn't taught about credit.
Right.
I wasn't taught about saving money.
Right.
So, like you said, when I started getting credit cards, I blow through the credit cards.
That's right.
Half of the time, I didn't pay them back. And as I got older, started having kids, I wanted to have my own home. But like you said, my credit was bad. I couldn't get it.
That's right.
So young people need to learn, listen, work if you have to,
That's right.
but fix your credit. Keep your credit straight. My daughter, she's working on hers. She's doing good. And I am so proud of her to be a young lady that she's here, that she owned her own home. She got a good job. And she's looking forward to buying more land,
That's right.
more houses.
That's right.
So she can have something to leave her offspring.
That's right. And it talks about it. As much as we profess to be Christians and believers of the Bible, it talks about ownership and wealth in the Bible, y'all. The Most High invest and have interest. He have always have interest in giving us land, giving us livestock, nice things. That's the part of God nobody talks about. They got you thinking that God just sitting on the cloud and he just want to nitpick with people. That's dogma. That's dogma religion. We don't serve dogma religion. We serve a God that's all knowing and he has common sense. He has blessed you with common sense, but we don't use it. We don't use it. We do things that just doesn't benefit us. I say this all the time. You know, people say, well, you should respect everybody's religion. For what? Why should I respect your religion when your religion has me at the bottom and has you at the top?
Right.
Asian people, we talk about, the reason why I talk about Asian people, because Asian people are very disciplined, strict people. I believe we were like that at one time. Remember, we used to say, "Oh, Big Mama was strict." That was a good thing. See, back then we didn't understand when older people were strict, or your mom and dad. We didn't understand it. We thought it was a bad thing. But at the end of the day, it's a good thing that God is strict with us, where He keeps us in line. He takes it serious for us to obey His law, statute, commandment. You ought to be glad that God is strict with you. Because I tell you what, the world will eat you up if you don't understand what's going on in the world. The world will eat you up. This is why you got people that's walking around here. They need to be in a loony bin or crazy or to be in a nut house, because their mind couldn't take all the pressures of the world. It couldn't handle all the stress of the world. This is why you got people walking around here with one shoe on out there in the world, and you be looking at them, you laugh, but it's not a laughing matter. These are people that couldn't handle life. These are people that couldn't handle life. And you ought to be glad that you are chosen, and God has chosen you to see what this world is all about. See, I see what life is all about for what it is. This is how I'm seeing it. I can't make you or show you how to see it. All I can do is tell you. It's up to you if you want to receive it or not. You got a lot of people that are not going to support this, what I'm saying. They're going to say, oh, he talking crazy. He don't know what the hell he talking about. He don't got none. He's a clout chaser. He's pot belly, dusty kids, whatever the case might be. I don't give a damn what people say about me. I learned a long time ago. My mom always told me, don't worry about what people say about you, because they're going to talk about you if you're doing good. They're going to talk about you if you're doing bad. I don't give a damn, because at the end of the day, ain't nobody putting no food on my family table but me.
Right.
You better learn how to create your own life and your own legacy and stop depending on somebody else to create it for you. You got to create it. You are a creator. You got to speak life. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. I've learned to speak life on myself. Starts with us first. You got to learn how to speak life. You got to learn how to speak it to existence. I'll be like, damn, girl, I can't take you to a 5-star hotel today, but I sure could take you to a 4-star hotel. You got to speak it into existence, man.
Yes, you do.
Golly, if God, I'm not trying to preach, but if God said, if you be faithful over a few things, I'll make you rule over many. But you got to get off your behind. If you a so-called black person, get off your behind and make it happen. And stop playing the blame game and stop waiting on your pastors or your imam or somebody else to create this fantasy or this legacy for you. Only you can create that. Only you
So
can create
true.
that, man. I'm telling you, ownership and wealth is very important. I'm learning that as I go. Um, I met with a Hispanic guy at the courthouse in North Texas, north from here. And he told me something that was very interesting. He said, man, you might want to talk to your people. This is a Latino guy telling me, or Mexican, could it be either or. He said, I said, why you say that? He said, because all his people are moving, everybody's moving from California, moving to Texas because the land is cheap. He said, you might want to get your people in the game. Now I understand what he's talking about. This is about probably 2 years ago when he told me this. And now I see the Latinos are looking good and doing good. They got all the landscaping business. They driving the nice trucks. They fixing up the community. What they do is they buy the homes for cheap, and if they decide to sell them, they sell them for 3 times as much as they worth. The Latino people have finally figured out begging and marching and voting for somebody is not going to do it. What they came up with a strategy. They said, we got to band together to make this happen. This is what they said. See, at one time, I remember back in the early 90s and the 80s, I remember when so-called black people had it going on. But we lost. We lost. Oh yeah, we did. We lost.
Yeah.
Black people
Yes,
used to have it going. We used to have it going on back in the 70s. Well, I don't know too much about the 70s. 80s and 90s. I remember a time where black people had it going on. We was flourishing. And the Mexicans tried to do the same thing that we keep telling our kids and telling everybody to do every 4 years or 2 to 4 years. March, protest, vote somebody in, your vote matters. The Mexicans say that's not working. They tried. They've been trying for years. They say, you know what? This is not working for us. So what they did, they band together. We gonna vote for somebody that's gonna meet our interests. So they start voting Republican. That way, this is why they're getting all the contracts. See, they selling their vote. Black people give their votes away for free. You're supposed to sell your vote. I'm not going to vote for a candidate unless they tell me, Mr. Price, if you vote for me or you get your people to vote for me, I tell you what, I'll make it a way that y'all would get these contract jobs. This is what the Mexicans have figured out how to do. This is why I call them the swing votes. They swing wherever is going to benefit them. They're not worried about everybody else. You can't possibly worry about everybody else. How you worrying about everybody else when everybody else don't even want to live amongst you?
Right.
So the Mexicans figured it out. Ownership and wealth is power. They band together. They said, we only can do this if we come together. Something that a so-called black people refuse to do. We refuse to do it the way that it's working for the Asian people. It's working for the African people. It's working for the Russians, the Irish. It's working for everybody else but us. Because you know why?
Why?
We still trying to figure it out.
Mm.
We listen to all these videos, all this content. You got a nigga with a dashiki on, and I'm not saying, listen, I'm not going to talk about my brothers. I'm just saying you got a lot of schemes that's going on with a lot of our people. I'm not going to talk about no brother. I told myself I'm gonna get away from that because I don't never hear Jewish people talking about their people. But I'm gonna leave that alone. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna say I don't agree with a lot of content that's going on out here with our people. I got away from talking about our people. So we're gonna keep it private. We're gonna keep it like that. But I'm just telling you, it's a game that you gotta learn how to play. And if you don't know how to play the game, you're gonna lose. This is a game. Everybody's playing chess while you playing checkers. You still haven't graduated to playing chess. You still trying to figure it out. Figure it out on your own time. Listen to people. Stop turning a deaf ear because you're looking at people's status or, oh, they're a bum, they're poor. You can get $1 million worth of knowledge just listening to people. I don't give a damn if they on the street pushing a shopping cart. And this is what we have failed, our black leaders, the churches have failed to do, is to teach us it's not about racism, it's about wealth. You don't got nothing. This is why you keep complaining, because you see everybody else. God has driven us to jealousy of seeing everybody else succeeded, but our own people. That's a curse. I'm not going to get into that. We'll get into that at another time because that's in the Bible. You're mad because you're seeing everybody else flourishing, but you're not flourishing. Because the churches keep teaching you, wait on the Lord, wait on the Lord, she'll renew their strength, wait on the Lord. That don't mean sit down and don't do nothing. You got to read the whole chapters to understand the verse. You can't just stop at the verse and say, okay, I got it. This is it. You got to read. You got to read why it was being said. Why did God say, blessed is the man who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength? Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into that. But 2022 has been a hard year. It's been a tragic year amongst black people. We are being used and don't even understand because you got a lot of our people. They all about the bag. And they showing you they all about the bag. When a preacher starts saying he ought to allow people to smoke marijuana in the churches, something wrong with him. He or she is messed up. They are turned over to a reprobated mind. Yeah, this is where we going in life. Every day I hear people, oh, God said something to me. God spoke to me. But you're not even trying to help that brother or sister that's going through a situation. You're not trying to give them the blueprint on how to be successful. Telling me to read a book is not making me successful. What helps a person be successful is giving them the knowledge and wisdom, giving them the blueprint. I just gave you $1 million worth of knowledge. Everybody else gonna charge you. Your psychiatrist, they're gonna charge you. They're gonna charge you $600 an hour for what I just said to you. Basic common knowledge, common sense, wisdom that God is freely wants to give to you. He wants to give it to you. He wants you to know these things. But can't nobody make no money off an educated person, a free man or a free woman. That's why they keep you dumbfounded. They keep you docile and weak. Because it's money to be made. If everybody start getting the wisdom and knowing what to do, everybody's scared not to make, they're afraid that they can't make money off of you no more. But anyway, I'm gonna turn it over to you. So what's your take on that? What's your take on that? I'm gonna stop talking because I've been talking too much. What's your take on that?
Well, you know what? I agree with the things you're saying. I just hope, I just wish, I just pray that my people will wake up and see we need to pull together. We need to work together. Like you said, just like the Latinos, we can do it.
That's right.
I see it every day. We can do it if we want to.
That's right.
And just stop being jealous.
That's right.
Of each other.
That's another problem too. That's another problem.
Yeah, that's the way, I want to say, I'm not going to say the white man, that's the way they taught us to be jealous of each other, to not to have each other back. If we wake up and see that's what we're doing what they want us to do. If we just could wake up and stop doing that, we should have
that's right.
Black Wall Street again.
Let me tell you.
It's out there to take.
Let me tell you what a Jewish person said. He said that when one Jewish person makes it or blows up or takes off or whatever the case might be, he said they help 5 other Jewish persons to come up. Yes. Black people, let me tell you what. See, this is ironic that other nations of people know us better than we know ourselves. This is sad that we got to listen to another nation of people to tell us what our problem is. But anyway, I'm just telling you that they see what's going on. But this is the problem with so-called black people. When we come up, we do just like this. We look back. Oh, they're gonna have to pull their asses up by their own bootstrap. That shit that Barack Obama said that I disagree with. I don't agree with pulling your own self up with your own bootstrap, because all the nations of people they don't believe in that. Asian people, they'll send one person over here, help that one person to succeed, go to school, get a home, whatever it is. You know what they do? When they get that person stationed there, he or she, they're sent for another family member. And then the cycle keeps going on and on and on till they find out that everybody in the family got it going on. Mexicans, they do the Latinos, the Mexicans do the same thing. The Africans do. That's so crazy that everybody keep talking about the Africans, but Africans know we're not the same people. They know they can't deal with you. They like, oh, you different, you crazy. That's how they look at us. They not dealing with us, and it shows. But they do the same. They use the same method. Every other race on this planet use the same method, but the black man, the black woman. Like I said, when one make it, we look over our shoulders and say they're gonna have to pull their asses up by their own bootstrap.
Right, and we do that.
This is what I'm saying. We got to get out of this mentality. And we can't get to it. And see, another thing that divides us is religion. Oh, yeah. I got a lot of people won't deal with me. They want to, but they don't want to deal with me because of certain religious practices, which I believe in religion according to James, the book of James, of the King James Version of the Bible. I don't believe in organized religion. I don't believe in man-made religion. I don't believe in that. I believe that we are governed by the law, statute, commandments of the 613 laws of power. That's what I believe in. I believe that God has given his people, and by us not wanting to do what God say to do, this is why we're in the condition where we at now. You see no other race of people going through what we're going through, because God has his chosen people. And it's not everybody, but I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm not gonna talk about that right now. I'm not anti-Semitic against myself, but this is what destroying us. I thought I was gonna get to the healthy eating. I'll just separate that and do that at another time. But ownership and wealth is power, and you are suffering because you don't have nothing. Once upon a time, we always talk about so-called black on black crime. Once upon a time in the 20s and 30s, and I believe in the 40s, Irish people, when they came over here, they was living in the ghettos and the slums. They didn't have nothing. They used to fight amongst each other. They don't tell you that story. They just got you thinking that we the only ones that have done that. No, the Irish people have done it. I believe it was another race of people that have done it when they moved over here. You know what happened? The government gave them the police department. The government gave this nation of people the fire department. See, the government gave them something to have so it could benefit their people, where you're not going to be thinking about killing nobody when you're making good money and when you got it going on. That way of living only comes by us not having nothing to do and having nothing to stand on. This is why you have us doing what we doing, because we all trying to survive, but we trying to survive the wrong way. You see what I'm saying? There's no need for no African man to do it when he come over here, when the red carpet is rolled out to him. They getting educated. And I'm not hating on the African brothers and sisters, but they coming out here to getting educated. They living in predominantly nice communities. They going to school. They got it going on. They got the nice. They don't got no time to be fighting against each other. We doing it because we're the only race of people the government has not given us something, given us anything to succeed. I'm not talking about welfare. I'm not talking about food stamps. That's not succeeding. I'm talking about like the Irish people did. They were given the damn fire department or the police department. Say, hey man, I'm gonna just let y'all infiltrate this, take over this. Bam. The Irish people got settled. They started making money, started becoming educated, becoming lawyers and judges. So what they gonna kill each other for and smoke crack?
Right.
You got to use your mind, man. You got to use the brain that the Most High has given. He gave you a brain for a reason. He didn't just give you a brain just to sit there. He gave you a brain for a reason. And like my teachers used to say, you got a brain, use it. We're not using our brain. We keep trying to get other people to think for us. You don't need nobody to think for you. You think for yourself. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. But anyway, Gene, I'm gonna let you close this out, baby girl. Go ahead and close this out.
Like I said once we pull together,
right,
we'll do better.
That's right.
And I just hope in my lifetime that I can see that.
That's right. That's right.
That's it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining Let's Talk About It podcast. I'm your host, Terry Price. I would like to thank my lovely guest, the most talented, beautiful woman that I know on this side of earth and the side of Dallas. She goes by the name of Jean, y'all. Y'all give it up to her.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you for being a guest on Let's Talk About It podcast. Today we was dealing with ownership and wealth is power, y'all. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. It's not about race. It's about power. It's about ownership and owning something. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys have a good day, have a good night. And always remember, that was feedback from your phone. Always remember, let your, I think I posted today. I don't want to say it wrong. I think I said, let your grind be your hustle. What was that I said today? Wait a minute, I got to read it right, y'all. I got to read it right. And it's my quote. Hold on a second. I got to read it right, y'all. Give me 1 second. Okay, then. Yes, I found it. I want to leave you guys with this. If y'all need me to do any speaking engagements, y'all want to get in contact with me, you're welcome to hit me up at 318-990-8375, or you can hit me up at the Terry Price Show 1@gmail.com. Go to my YouTube page, like, comment, and subscribe. I want to leave you guys with this. Let your motivation be your grind, and let your ambition be your hustle. Until next time, I'm Terry Price, and I'm signing off. Y'all bless.